So we continue to look at the Ashtavakra Gita. We actually reached chapter 7, which is the nature of self-realization. Nature of self-realization. And now again Janaka is speaking. In the first verse he says, "In me, the shoreless ocean, the arc of the universe, drifts here and there on the winds of its nature. I am not impatient. In me, the shoreless ocean, the arc of the universe, drifts here and there on the winds of its nature. I am not impatient." What does it mean? The arc of the universe drifts here and there on the winds of its nature. So what's the nature of this universe? Changing, subject to time and space, not constant. It's an appearance which is constantly changing. Nothing is stable here. So he says, in me, the shoreless ocean. So already he's saying that the universe in its nature is constantly changing. Therefore, not only am I the shoreless ocean, which means the unlimited, but also I am the unchanging. You see? So again, the clues, you see. Again and again, the same clues are given to us by Ashtavakra. Can we find the witness of this universe? You see? Can these become our words? Often what happens is that when we read a scripture like Ashtavakra, it can seem like it is too far out because the word seems so big, you see. How do I, who have considered myself to be a limited entity with birth and death and family and relationships and work and all of this, how can I relate to these words? In me, the shoreless ocean, the arc of the universe, in its nature, keeps changing. Can this be true about I? About you? Can these become your words? So although it is so simple, in phenomenal terms, this task is huge. For the mind, this task is huge. It can seem impossible. The mind can come with strong resistance, especially if you're new to Satsang. Then the mind can come and say, but this is too abstract. This is too difficult. I'm new to this. You can say like that. But this is your truth. If Ashtavakra is a sage who deserves our reverence, then the words he must be speaking must be pointing to the direct truth of the self. And the self is you. So it is this discovery, this realization that we are coming to, we are looking for. And again in the first 6 chapters, we've looked at the same clues. How to find this self. Because it can seem like we lost it. So we are looking for self-realization, self-recognition. How do I find this self? So what are the clues? Let's quickly go over them again. Can we find that which witnesses all things? Can we find that which is the witness of all things? And what is the nature of that? Does it have an attribute? Does it have a shape? Does it have a size? Now what will happen is some answers will come from the mind. Some visuals might come from the mind. But find out who witnesses even that. What is that witness? Ashtavakra has said, I am the one solitary witness to all there is, of all there is. Is it? Now, if this is true, it must be true now. Who is it that is aware of this changing universe? And careful not to make the distinction between the universe and the body. The body is also an appearance contained within this universe. So include that as well. Include your thoughts, include your imagination, memories, include your emotion, sensation, pain, pleasure. What witnesses all this? And that you exist right now. What is aware of this? Include everything in the appearance. You see? So that which witnesses, can that itself be perceived? So this is the first clue. Second clue is that this discovery must be of that which is unchanging. Because something here is tired of the changing. You see? Everything is constantly changing, and we are looking for a sense of stability. We are looking for that which remains unchanged. The sages have defined reality to be like this, isn't it? The real must be that which remains unchanging. The truth must be that which remains unchanging. So this self must also be beyond change. What is the third clue? The third clue is that it must be our direct insight. It must not be something we have learned, something we have read, something that we just have a concept of or an imagination of. It must be a direct insight, but unlike any other insight, this is the recognition which is not phenomenal. This can sound a bit confusing. If you're looking for blue light, and you see this blue light, you say, yes, I recognize it, I found it. If you're looking for a pink elephant, you look till you find something that is pink and has the shape of an elephant. But in this case, you are not going to find something objective. The witness have an attribute? Does the self have a quality? So this recognition will be your only non-phenomenal recognition, beyond even space. So if you find something which is beyond time and space, then we are coming to the discovery of this shoreless ocean. has no beginning or end, has no birth or death. So all of these are the clues to your self-discovery. No concept, no visual can match this. Consciousness itself comes to this beautiful discovery using the pointers, using the clues which are provided in Satsang. That's why I said this time that as we start the Ashtavakra, we are not just going to interpret the words, not just make the words more accessible, but also experience the taste of what the sage is talking about. Use what he is saying as pointers to taste the reality of what we are. In me, the shoreless ocean, let the waves of the universe rise and fall as they will. I am neither enhanced nor diminished. In me, the shoreless ocean, let the waves of the universe rise and fall as they will. I am neither enhanced nor diminished. This is a very, very important pointer because even after satsang, many of us keep looking for some phenomenal change. See? Something should happen. Or if I recognize the self, where is my halo? Anything. Why do I still get angry? These kind of things can come. So what is the sage saying? That the waves, the movement of the rising and falling within this universe happens in me. I am neither enhanced nor diminished. You see? So no space for either pride or guilt. Because we can take on phenomenal things and we can become very prideful about them. Right? Or we can become very guilty about them. So this, you see that all of this is one movement of consciousness. It is moving with its own supreme intelligence. You see? That which runs time and space, gravity, electricity, all of these forces. It's a supreme intelligence, isn't it? So that is doing its job. It is running this world. But I, which is the witness of this world, am neither enhanced nor diminished by it. It's very, very subtle also. Because we say that from the absolute, the apparent universe appears. But unlike, so the absolute is like the potential for the appearance. But unlike potential and manifestation, it is not that something happens to the potential with the manifestation. So when you say Purnamada, Purnamidam, so the complete, the total stays complete in spite of a complete universe coming from within it. So with the emergence, with the appearance of your consciousness, this world appears. This universe itself is also unlimited. But that from which this unlimited arises continues to remain untouched. This is the discovery, which the rising and falling of the universe takes place with its own ways, but I remain untouched, neither enhanced nor diminished. Now notice all the judgments that we make about ourselves. All the judgments we make about ourselves on the basis of this phenomenal movement, something happens, some interaction or something happens in life. Four main things, isn't it? Four main things happen in our life. What is it? The health of the body, the state of our relationships, the security slash money slash work, you see? And ultimately the quest for freedom or the thirst for liberation or the search for some meaning. These are the four things that usually bother humanity. So within this, based on relationship, based on money, based on body, based on how we feel we are doing as a seeker or the one who is searching for the truth, we make judgments about myself, ourselves. But what is the sage saying? I am neither enhanced nor diminished, no matter what is the movement of the universe. So, in hearing these words, can we take it as a pointer to let the universe be? Let the universe be as it is, including the play of your own body as part of this universe. The movie is running on its own. The projector is there, the screen is there, all of that light and sound is there. Consciousness is playing this movie. Then it seemed like consciousness itself is training, is making an effort to play as if it is just one of the characters in the movie. It is playing as if it is an individual entity, a limited identity in this play. Go from being a far out concept into our own living discovery. All it needs is a sliver of openness, a sliver of openness, a sliver which can let the Sadguru in. A foot in the door to the Sadguru is all that you need. One foot in the door. If that much space is there, then all this would seem like the most difficult, most abstract scripture, Ashtavakra. But funnily enough, few Swamijis that I've spoken to in life, and we talk about this, and they say, Ashtavakra, oh, but not many will get it because it can seem like it is the most difficult. Who can relate to these words? I am the shoreless ocean in which the arc of the universe comes and goes, but I remain untouched. So even for those who have been studying Vedanta for a long time, it can seem like this is very complicated. But I am giving you the cheat code. Have a little bit of openness, follow these clues, and you will feel like it's nothing. It's straightforward. It's like the sage is speaking from your own experience. It must become like that. The point of satsang is that all these things pointing to the direct truth must become, must seem like, yes, this could be my voice. Because this is exactly what I'm discovering for myself. Without any pretense, without any proclamation. Just what is it that you're finding about yourself? If with a sliver of openness, we can follow these clues and let the mind just come and go for a little bit of time, then all of this can become very, very straightforward. Many times in the past, Ashtavakra was not shared with many. It was the secret. After many years of sadhana and seva, mostly in an ashram, then you would be called into a secret room. Said, these are the words of the sage Ashtavakra. But as time is going along, it is because our life also seems to be more complex. So maybe it is also brought to you in a more accessible, approachable way. So, but if there is something like a prerequisite, I would say there is one. When I say openness, I mean, do you feel like you cannot dance to the tunes of the mind for at least a few moments? Because the mind will say a lot of things, especially when it's faced with this direct knowledge. So, can we not pick up a notion about ourselves for just a few moments? And do we have that much openness, that much willingness at least? Because if it is not there, then these words can also add to the confusion. The mind will mix up this with already existent notions, and it can seem like the world became even more complex. That is why I keep saying in Satsang that go with your insight and not with your inferences, judgments, conclusions. Keep all of these aside for some time, especially when you're checking about your reality. What is it that you are? Because the mind supremacy is threatened, this is the time where the mind will come and resist in every possible way. Through the grace of the Master, do we have that much openness that we can allow this mind to come and go for a few moments without picking up the notion of an individual, limited me? If this much is present, this discovery, which is what all of us are truly longing for because we are in Satsang, can easily, with great simplicity, be discovered. If it is for 1 in a million, then we are that 1 in a million. If it is for a rare number of people, then we are those. So say, be the cow that jumped over the moon. You are here already. Already you are here. And since you continue to be here, there must be some resonance, some openness for this. Trust this that brought you here in Satsang. Soon your suffering will become a struggle. Freedom will become natural. In me, the shoreless ocean, the universe is imagined. I am still and formless. In this alone, I abide. In me, the shoreless ocean, the universe is imagined. I am still and formless. In this alone, I abide. So we've spoken about most of this. The self is not in objects, nor are objects in the pure and infinite self. The self is not in objects, nor are objects in the pure and infinite self. The self is tranquil, free of attachment and desire. In this alone, I abide. Now, if you were just an object, if you were just an object, then you would be subject to change. Then you would be, I would understand why you would want another object. If I'm an object, then I want to enhance myself by adding other objects, other things which could add to this. If I'm a glass, I would not mind a nice coaster. Like that, we come to this. So, because we have considered ourselves to be this objective entity, then we have also believed that I can desire something. I want something to make myself complete, happier, better, stronger, whatever. So this illusion of enhancement is based on our feeling that I am an object. Now the sage is saying that you are not an object. The world of objects, in the world of objects, you will not find yourself. And when I say objects, we must include every phenomenal appearance. Because many will feel like, yes, when I find bliss, then that is the discovery of the self. But actually, from the perspective of the truth, even bliss is an object. It is phenomenal. That which is coming and going is objective. So, again, don't look at a phenomenal benchmark for your discovery. All the clues are there. Find out that which witnesses all objects and find whether that itself is an object. Is that itself an appearance? Does it have a quality, an attribute? What is an object? At least one attribute it needs to have. Is it? Some form, some shape, some color, some feeling, some taste. All these are objects. They have a quality. Does the primal witnessing, does that have a quality? You, that is perceiving all objects, what perceives this? What is aware of this? Does that have a quality? That's why I said that this will be your direct insight. But unlike all other insight, this insight will not be a phenomenal discovery. So when I say that, is there a computer on the table? Is there a computer on the table? Yes. How did you do this process of answering yes? Saw, perceived an object and saw that yes, this conforms to the shape of computer. Oh yes. Is there a green apple on the table? I will say no, because you did not see an object like that. But are you aware now? Yes. What did you see? This one, you did not see anything in that way. And yet the answer is yes. It's not even coming from conceptual knowledge. It is our direct discovery now. I am aware. So this what Ashtavakra calls the witnessing. The witness is what we usually call awareness or the self. Am I aware now? This awareness is a non-phenomenal discovery. Beyond all things which are objects, beyond all qualities. What knows? What is aware of awareness itself? Awareness alone. So now does it match the clues? What is it that witnesses all things? You see that it is this awareness unchanging. What is it that is unchanging? This. Everything that is perceived is subject to change. Time and space, name and form. And is it a direct insight, a direct discovery? Yes. I don't have to refer to a concept to see that this witnessing is here. This awareness is here. But unlike the green apple and the computer, do I perceive something as a phenomenal object? To say yes. No. Yes. So we said the self is not in objects, nor are objects in the pure and infinite self. What does this mean? It means that in this, the absolute awareness, it is beyond any objective universe. And yet within itself actually arises this sense, I am, I exist, consciousness. I, which is the self, then gives birth to I am, which is consciousness. And then when you are conscious, you exist, then this play of the world starts, it plays. All the objects, they appear and they disappear. What happened to that awareness from which all of this came? Nothing happened. So although everything is the self, the source of everything is greater than that which manifests. As the sages said, nor are the objects in the pure and infinite self, because the source remains untouched by the objects. I am awareness alone. The world is a passing show. I am awareness alone. The world is a passing show. How can thoughts arise of acceptance or rejection, and where? So here, we don't take so much of an issue with the arising of thoughts. It is the identification with them which is the source of suffering. So everything which is the pose on the mind, the pose of this thought, is a form of resistance. It is to give ourselves a limited position. The only job of the mind is to convince, and designed by consciousness in this way, is to convince consciousness itself that it is a limited entity. This is the marvel of this world. Consciousness itself wanted to taste this world as if it itself is a limited entity. The connection is not so great today, but I hope it's audible. Yes. So consciousness itself, in its play, has given itself this, created for itself this inner called the mind thoughts, and given it to itself the power to believe, to pretend as if it is something limited. And it believes some really far out things. We might feel like it's very normal to believe that I am a person. But actually, if you look at it, you notice that even scientifically it is impossible. Like, suppose you have a belief that I am doing something, I am moving my hand. It seems like the most obvious thing. I can move my hand. But actually, if you really start to explore it, then a scientist will tell you, but you need to fire these many million neurons to move your hand. Who knows how to fire a single neuron? Nobody knows. So this is just happening. Another way to look at it is that for every atom, the scientists are saying that for every atom, there is a probabilistic determination of what its next position will be. So that includes the atoms of this, which make up this body. So already the probabilistic determination of where it is going to be next is predefined. So we can feel like, I moved. This non-existent I can claim to be the mover of this hand. It's not true. Another BBC documentary, it came a few years ago, where they said before the thought comes that I must do this or I can do that or I should move my hand, already the nervous system is getting activated for the movement of the hand before the thought comes, before the seeming intent is there. Something is already moving. So this consciousness, which is the one doer, one mover, one experiencer, has created for itself this play of individuality through its belief in its separate identity. And what does the mind come and say? Yes, yes, but if I just get let go, then I will become the most irresponsible who will take care of my family. But that is not exactly the opposite of what is being said, because even that implies a sense of individual control. What is meant to move will continue to move. It is just that you will not interpret it, consider it to be the movement of an individual entity which we consider ourselves to be. You will find that all of this, what did the sage say? All of this is the movement of the arc of the universe. And I am the shoreless ocean in which this movement happens, but I remain untouched. So beautiful. This is going to be or is already your own discovery. So when Maharaj says, Bhagwan says, Guruji says, that you're beyond this play, their constant invitation, their constant prodding is for us to transcend this. Transcend what? The idea that there is an ego here. Transcend our ego. Ego means what? The sense that there must be a separate entity here. But actually no separation has ever happened. No separation has ever happened in reality. It is just a pretense, a facade. Some of you are new, so I can share one of my favorite metaphors or examples that we use in Satsang to make the human condition a little more clear. So suppose that you were born in a world which had no mirrors. You could not check on your shape or size or form. Now everyone is telling you that you are a cat. Because everyone told you you are a cat. See? But you have no mirror to check this. Not only everyone, but also you have a voice. It constantly is confirming that you are a cat. And what is it saying? To be happy, you need the next bowl of milk. So what is it that it has said? Next bowl of milk usually has been, oh, get a good education, then you will be happy. Have a healthy body, then you will be happy. Find a good life partner, then you will be happy. Make enough money, then you will be happy. But has the cat been satisfied with any of this? Keeps moving from bowl to bowl to bowl, back and forth in various ways, trying to find this eternal bowl of milk. Then somebody comes and says, enlightenment, freedom will be your final bowl of milk. Never ending nectar, amrit, not bowl of milk, bowl of amrit, because it is enlightenment. So the cat says, yes, this is what I want. I have seen that none of these give me happiness, which is stable, which is unchanging. So I will go for freedom. I have been told that in this world, the only way to always be happy is to find this bowl of milk called enlightenment. Then we start looking for that master or teacher who can show us the way to enlightenment. You meet such a master if you're lucky when God creates you. Meet such a master who can say, you come for the bowl of milk, but I have no bowl of milk. I don't have a bowl of milk, but what do I have? What I do have is a mirror in which you will see yourself and you will not find the cat that has been chasing all of these things. You will find yourself to be that which is beyond any cat and beyond any bowl of milk. So then the mirror is shown. Mirror is shown. But the cat conditioning can seem to be so strong that even though we see for ourselves in a credible mirror, actually it is our own insight. When we do the inquiry, we are checking who we are, who am I? But one's constant pointing, isn't it? Who am I? Nobody finds a cat. Nobody has come and said, I looked within and I actually found a person sitting there. Nobody has said. So nobody has found this person. And yet, even after this self-recognition, how is it that we continue to believe ourselves to be a cat? See, this is the power of conditioning. This is the momentum of conditioning. That's why Bhagavan said that even after the fan is turned off, it continues to spin for a while till it comes to a stop. So the momentum of our conditioning carries us, continues to sell us the story that I am an individual entity who must chase this or must chase that, and that's where freedom will come. And it is the seeker identity itself which wants some satisfaction in the form of that unending bowl of nectar. Till I have Ananda, till then I will not believe in Sat and Chit. Satchitananda. Till I have Ananda, till then we keep doubting the Sat and Chit. What does it mean? That we keep looking for the bliss part of it, and then the truth and being part of it are not valued. We feel that only after I have this bliss will I confirm that I came to this. But what do you find? If you just allow yourself to just be, picking up no condition, where will Ananda go? It has to come. If you come to the truth, if you make the discovery that you are the self, the unchanging, the witness of all, you see, the direct discovery of the non-phenomenal, non-objective truth of what you are, where will bliss go? Where will love go? Where will peace go? All of these are for you to taste. They are in service to you. God doesn't have to run after them. But till we consider ourselves to be something limited, something other than the self, till then all these will seem like they're elusive qualities, elusive things that we are tasting, and they come and go. Because what is it about this universe? Everything comes and goes. So if you're finding something which is objective, which is in this universe, that also will come and go. Use this opportunity to find that which does not come and go. It is completely possible. So if you feel like you are stuck, you're not coming to this recognition, I'm always happy to engage, to inspire together, to look at this. If you feel you're stuck with the recognition, I'm always happy to help. If you feel like the recognition is clear, but it is this momentum of past conditioning which brings you to this pretense again and again, the best thing is Satsang. Come to Satsang, immerse yourself in the presence of Satsang. You will find that the mind will lose its convincing ability, its power to tell you that you are something small. If there are some thoughts which you find the stickiest, inquiry. Find out who are they referring to, including thoughts about freedom about being the seeker. Pull them into your inquiry. Ask yourself, who is here that is not free? Who is the bound one? These thoughts will become laughable. Said that, and I got reminded that some in the Sangha are sending me reports that they're just laughing. These thoughts are coming and they're just laughing. They're finding all of this play so humorous, so funny. Not in a derisive sort of way. But sometimes we look at these thoughts which had so much power in the past and we find that they are laughable now. All of us have that. They're like for a child, suppose you were 7 years old, you might have had a thought of some desire that you wanted a car or some Lego set or something. And it can feel like that is the most important thing in our life. Our life depends on having a skateboard or something like that. It can feel like that, isn't it? Then when you outgrow them, you find those thoughts laughable. How I thought that owning a skateboard was the most important thing in my life. So just like that, as you're coming to the recognition of what you truly are, then these measly thoughts about some worldly objective thing will seem like laughable. How I ever believed that having an object could bring eternal happiness to me. They become laughable in that way. Why? Because you outgrow them. You see yourself to be beyond that. You've outgrown the 7-year-old child who had different form of desires. In the same way, you will outgrow the ego, which has claimed to tell you what you need for happiness. And yet, in all our chasing, we have not found this stable, unchanging happiness. So we will outgrow it and see that it is not in these things that I will find it. I will find it in myself.